Y'all, I love me some Diana Ross, and one of my favorite songs is I'm Coming Out. I want the world to know. Anyway, ladies, welcome to an unfiltered podcast on real, raw subjects because it's our time. And we've got to be ready, baby. There's no such thing as getting ready, okay? Look at what's going on all around us. It's our time, ladies, and we got to have some things in place, okay? I'm excited and happy to help you live your best life now, honey, as a respectable and respectful woman, because modesty, class, and grace, honey, is always right and in style. You're on the mic with Dr. Ace, the Global Mentor Coach, and today we're talking about body positivity in the age of social media. Listen, body positivity has been a big subject lately. It really topped off last year with artists like Lizzo, models like Ashley Graham and Takara, who literally embody, and I do mean to say this pun, body positivity. Let's not forget the Dove campaign from 2018. But there's a lot of controversy surrounding body positivity. And what I really want to get into is beyond the outward appearance. Body positivity starts in the mind. Okay? How you see yourself matters. Come on, ladies, come on. If you don't have a healthy outlook for yourself, it doesn't matter what size you are. If you don't love, value, and appreciate you, nothing anybody says about you will change your outlook for the better. Now, as it relates to body positivity, I believe there's a time and a place for everything. Just because you love your body doesn't mean everybody wants to love it or they want to love it in the same way. Okay? I don't care if you're a size 6. I don't want to see TNA. I don't want to see I don't want to see it. I don't want to see your tatas. I don't want to see your nipples, and you can figure out that. Okay? I don't want to see it all over the place. I don't care. I don't care if you're a 6 or a 16. I don't want to see it. Okay? That's what I mean by modesty is still right. You can be a champion for body positivity and still carry yourself in a respectful way, or rather in a respectable way. There was some controversy around Lizzo last year when she twerked in a thong at a Lakers game. Now, the twerking wasn't necessarily the issue for a lot of people. It was that she did it in a thong at what is typically a family event. Remember, I said there's a time and a place for everything. So again, I don't care if you're a size 6. I don't want to see anybody's behind hanging out, let alone twerking. Now, if she were in a nightclub or a strip club or something like that, then all bets are off. Okay? All bets are off. House party, whatever, adults only club, that's different. But you got to remember where you are when you're doing certain things. If I were a parent, I would have been offended. I don't care what you say, I would have been offended. Why? Because maybe I don't want my child exposed to something like that just yet. It's a family friendly event. Okay? So if I'm bringing my 6 or 7 year old to that, I may not want to expose my child to that. So now I've got to figure out how I'm going to explain this to my child. So when it comes to body positivity, you've got to have a high level of respect for yourself and for your surroundings, because it's not just about you in this context. It wasn't just about her. It was where she was and what she did and how she did it. And that's the thing. It's not about championing body positivity or feminism. It was how she did it and where she did it. So now with that said, I want to talk about something called body dysmorphia for a moment, because I don't feel like I can talk about body positivity without dealing with this. And so what is body dysmorphia? Body dysmorphia is a mental disorder where a person can't stop thinking about one or more perceived defects or flaws in their appearance. So it's like a flaw that appears minor or can't be seen by other people. Y'all know I looked this up, right? Because it's an issue. And you might be like, oh, whatever. No, it's real. Listen, it's a serious issue because, listen, people who suffer from body dysmorphia, they tend to shy away from, social situations. And you probably done it at some point in your life as well, but you since you've come out of it, you don't think about it as much. But there are people who really do this. It's debilitating sometimes for some people, because the issue that is that they can't stop seeing that flaw. And so that thing, that one little thing, I don't care, it can be so minor that only they notice it, but it's so debilitating that it makes them feel ashamed, embarrassed, to the point that they get anxious and have anxiety about it. So that's why they don't go out in public. That's why they avoid social situations, to a certain extent, because it's here. It's up here. Remember, it's how you see yourself. And so somebody might be like, oh my God, you see this thing right here. Nobody's like, well, what are you talking about? But people will obsess. It's an obsession over one little tiny thing, and it can spiral out of control. This is why it's important to be encouraging and supportive of people, because we don't know what they're going through. We don't know what people think about themselves mentally. I just read where a 27-year-old actor suffered from mental illness and took his life. He had a substance abuse problem. You don't know what's happening up here. You can't just look at the outward and think everything is okay, because it's not necessarily okay. Okay, what's happening on the inside? There's a deeper issue that needs to be addressed. So eating disorders are real and they're serious, and sometimes body dysmorphia leads to that. I remember this episode of Family Guy where Stan had an eating disorder, and he was working out so much. I mean, he was just, oh my God. And in his mind, he was still fat. He only saw a fat version of himself. And the family did an intervention, and he was in this support group for eating disorders. And they had all this kind of stuff. One girl was talking about, she had this, it was so ridiculous the way they did the episode, but it was real at the same time. And when you got down to the reality of it, they showed him what they were like, you need to see what you really look like. And he was like, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that. They were like, no, you're about to die. And it was like when he had this, whatever it was that woke him up, he saw that he was literally skin and bones. And that's how much weight he lost. He was no longer healthy and in shape. But in his mind, he was fat. He was like, look at this roll of fat right here and fat right there. And they were like, what are you talking about? I'm just pulling skin. And so when it comes to body dysmorphia, because that's what it is, he could only he saw that in himself. Everybody else saw who he really was becoming from all the exercise and the dieting and all the stuff that he was doing. They saw the real version of him, and he only saw the fat version. All because he obsessed over this one thing, and it spiraled into, oh my God, I'm this a super fat blob. So body dysmorphia is real, and you got to be supportive of people, because in extreme cases, it can lead to death. So listen to me. If you or someone you know suffers from body dysmorphia, or might be on the brink, or you're not sure, you need to talk to someone. Get what's up here out. You will not change the way you see yourself until you get what's up here out. I'm telling you, you got to get what's in your head out. Okay? Get it out of your head. One of the things I did to encourage myself about my body was to look in the mirror and really see myself. That was the hardest thing I ever had to do because but I did it. The next thing was I had to accept everything about myself and literally tell myself I love me. Like I had to look in the mirror and say, LaTanya, you're beautiful and I love you. I love every roll, every tiger stripe, every scar, bump, lump, whatever it was that I saw, I had to speak to it and say that I love it. Because if you don't love it, it won't get better because all you're going to see is the disgusting part of you that you don't like. You're going to obsess about it. And instead of it getting better, you're just going to get worse. So I had to say, I love me. And I did it while looking myself in the mirror. I didn't look past myself at reflections of anything in the back of the mirror. I looked at me. And sometimes it's really hard to do, but that's what I had to do to change my perception of the way I looked. And the more I did it, the better I felt about myself. Now, I don't care if somebody doesn't like the way I look now, because it's not about them. I love me. I truly can say, I can look in the mirror and say, I love me. There was a while when I couldn't do that, but now I can do that. I love me. I make lifestyle changes for me. I don't do it for anybody else. I do it for me. I get dressed like, ooh, girl, go ahead on. All right now, for me. Because I want to be the best version of me possible, and it starts with me. When it comes to relationships, the first one you need to take care of is you. And a lot of times we want to work on relationships with everybody else but ourselves. But if we don't work on this person, this relationship here, we're never going to be happy with anybody else. Never, because we're not taking care of this relationship. I take myself out on dates. That's how much I love me. I take myself to the movies. I take myself to dinner. And I'm not talking about a quick run to Chick-fil-A or, Panera. Sometimes Panera is the place of choice though. But I take myself out because I love me and I want to spend quality time with me. That's how LaTanya loves, values, and appreciates herself. I got to spend time with me. It started though with me talking to myself about the things I liked about me. And then that list just grew and grew and grew. We're not talking about being arrogant. We're not talking about being cocky. We're talking about building self-confidence and loving yourself, truly loving you as you are. You can't make healthy lifestyle choices or changes until you start loving what you do love about yourself or even liking it. I had to first start liking me. Then I grew from liking myself to loving myself. Even when I had issues with my hair was falling out, I was stressed out, it was all kinds of stuff. I ballooned, my weight was ballooning. No matter how much I was exercising and dieting and doing all that, it was frustrating. Why? Because my stress level was so high. It was everything I was doing was defeating the purpose. So I had to stop. I had to stop the anxiety in its tracks. All of that stuff is unhealthy, but it started with up here. I had to do some mental work because your mind will play mind games on you to destroy you if you let it. So I had to do some work. And I'm encouraging you, do some work and start with just looking in the mirror and telling yourself you are beautiful and that you love yourself. Just that simple. I'm beautiful and I love myself. Every day. If you have to do it more than once a day, do it. And do it until you can really, and then identify those things that you don't like about yourself. I had to do it, and then I had to do it like really in order to say I love this roll and this dimple. Of course, I had to be naked, but I had to say it. I had to look at myself. Now I'm like, ooh, girl, look at that waist coming in. You put in that work, girl. Ooh, you did that definition, girl. Go ahead and keep doing that, putting that work in. Even though when I was doing the work, the scale wasn't moving, inches were coming off, and I can see the definition in my body, I was stressed about a number on a scale that is just a lie that I didn't need to work on. So I stopped focusing on that and started celebrating what was happening. And when I did that, the scale started moving. Because I continued to do the work. I continued to encourage myself. I continued to say, congratulations, you're doing a great job. Girl, look at this. And the more I did that, the better I felt, the more I wanted to keep going. And I just went hard in the paint, doing what I had to do. Continue to make lifestyle changes, because if you don't, then it's going to be like, well, what's the point? I may as well just go back to what I was doing. And that's negative thinking, and you don't want to think like that. So it's, hey, girl, you look good. It's paying off. Keep putting in the work. Putting in the work. Look good, girl. You better go, girl. Go head on. And it worked. It still works. That's how you turn likes into love. You got to talk about the things you like about yourself until you can say you love it. It works. I'm a witness. It works because I did it. I'm not telling you nothing that I haven't done. I've done it. This is my personal testimony. I've done it. Okay, so just saying. So that's all for today, ladies. You've been on the mic with Dr. Race, the Global Mentor Coach. Thank you so much for listening. If you have some topics you'd like to hear, or if you need a coach to help you achieve your goals, send an email to info@globalmentorcoach.com. That's info@globalmentorcoach.com. Again, thanks for listening. Keep it sexy, classy, and modest as you spread lots of love and light. Until next time. Bye.